when Ted arrived at the hospital and saw Shanice there, he said, "You're here." I mean, I felt like that was kind of a rude hello from Ted because there was no hi, there was no how are you, there was no you look great. It was just, "You're here." What is up, fellow Beyond the Gates viewers? Here to talk about today's Wednesday episode of the show. Finally, a pretty good episode of the show today, I would say. I mean, not hard to be better than the last two episodes, which were two of the most boring episodes in this show's history, but still good today nonetheless. I do want to say, if you hear construction noises, apologies in advance. I guess Leslie is still building something in my neighborhood. Let's talk about Shanice being back at work first. That was honestly one of the highlights in the episode today. We haven't seen her for a few weeks, and to me, her presence had been missed. She already brought a good energy back to the show. She wanted to surprise Ted, was hoping that Ted was at work at the hospital, but he wasn't. She's returning from a conference. Ashley, of course, was there, and Shanice quickly caught up on some of the tea. Ashley and Shanice talked about Madison being sued. Ashley told Shanice that something happened in Nicole's office and then her locks were changed, and Shanice wanted to know the reason why that happened. She said she's going to get to the bottom of it, and I think Shanice might get to the bottom of it. Shanice also learned that the chief of staff, Leah, has it out for Ashley and has been giving Ashley a lot of grief. And then Shanice gave Ashley some cooking ideas for dinner. The sex me up chicken idea or something that she later told Grayson. At the beginning of this episode, Ashley and Grayson were chatting. Ashley was trying to get flirty. Some people in the live chat today while I was doing my watch along do seem to kind of like Ashley and Grayson, which is a lot more praise than I've ever seen for Ashley and Derek in the past. I'm still not a huge fan of the two, but you know, I still think Ashley could have a storyline that is not her in a relationship. I think that would be a nice change. But today, with her flirting, she wanted to know what time he got off. He said he would be working late, but he would try and make time if the meal is a light meal or something. And that's when she came up with that chicken idea after talking to Shanice. But later in the episode, we finally got some really good action to end the episode, even though they did kind of spoil it at the end of Friday's episode with this week's preview. But Grayson was in the stairwell at the hospital talking to his mother, who does exist, which I've always figured she did. I never thought that Grayson was going to be like a really baddie on this show, like a villain. I figured he was another great character. This show does like to do their great characters. Sometimes they do it well, sometimes they do it overboard and it gets annoying. But yeah, he was on the phone talking to his mom when Ren appeared in the stairwell and shanked his ass right in the stairwell. And yeah, Grayson, I guess, left for dead. Luckily, he's in a hospital, so someone should find him, I would hope, and then he can be in a hospital. I don't see Grayson dying. I would be surprised if Grayson dies already after being a somewhat new character, and I feel like the show really is pushing for this Ashley and Grayson pairing to try and make Ashley more entertaining. I don't really know if that's the case. At the start of the episode, Ted was meeting with Kat. Nicole was with Kat. Ted was trying to get Nicole to also join him and Kat. We learned that Ted still remembers the coffee order that Nicole gets, but Nicole did not stay with Ted there. So at the beginning of the episode, it was kind of, at least I thought they were kind of going down a road where Ted was going to end up either upsetting Shanice today or hurting Shanice today. They could really be already trying to circle back to Ted and Nicole, which I'm not here for, frankly. I think that has already ran its course. I feel like this Ted and Nicole don't have the chemistry that the original Ted and Nicole did have. Plus, they are writing Nicole like she's Vanessa 2.0 right now, with all of her sleeping with two different men and all of that. It doesn't seem like a good time to really reconnect Ted and Nicole. I don't think they've put in the work to build up that pairing getting back together. Something they are trying to put in the work doing, though, is Ted spending more time with Kat. I feel like they are really trying to please some of the Kat fans who complain about how everyone mistreats Kat. Ted being one of those people who have, since the show started, was spending way more time with Eva than Kat and Martin. But after Anita gave Ted that talking to a few months ago, he has been trying to spend more time with his children, and he's been doing a pretty good job living up to that. During this conversation, they talked about how Kat's not moving in with Tomas, and Kat was saying that she and Tomas love each other. They see each other in each other's futures, but that future is not right now. I'm glad that Kat called Ted out on the fact that he doesn't have his own place yet and is still staying at a hotel. She was asking if he's waiting for more progress with Shanice, and then Ted tried to avoid answering that question and avoid talking about Shanice. They have definitely been portraying Ted as not wanting anything too serious with Shanice right now, or at least he's not ready to have something too serious with Shanice right now. Later, when Ted arrived at the hospital and saw Shanice there, he said, "You're here." And like I was saying on camera when I was doing my watch along, I mean, I felt like that was kind of a rude hello from Ted, because there was no hi, there was no how are ya, there was no you look great. It was just, "You're here." So what I am saying with the writing here with Ted and Shanice is that Ted really might end up hurting Shanice in the future. That seems to be what they are building to or teasing. But in this episode, Ted and Shanice were getting close in his office, but then Nicole walked in and kind of ruined their alone time. But Nicole left them be, said her talk about Martin was not that serious with Ted. So Shanice told Ted after Nicole left that while she was away, she's been thinking a lot and she thinks something real is happening with Ted. Ted only said that he is right here with her right now, and then Shanice wanted to leave and go do something inappropriate with Ted, so they did in fact leave. But yeah, I feel like they're building up a downfall for this Shanice and Ted relationship already. That's what I've gotten from it. Kat, meanwhile, showed up for a date with Tomas where he had a dance floor ready for them, and they did a little salsa. And honestly, if they just have Tomas dance a lot in his scenes, he might actually show more emotions, because he showed more emotions during that dance with Kat than he has showed in 14 months of the show. So I mean, it was kind of nice to see Tomas show some emotions, but it's too bad that it was during dancing. Tomas talked to Kat about wanting to take her to Puerto Rico, meet his whole family for the first time. He also got her another stupid gift. Last year for her birthday, he got her a calculator. This year, he got her some door knickknack saying it's his front door. His way of saying he wants to take her to Puerto Rico. I don't know. It was lame. It was cheesy. Still am not here for the Kat and Tomas pairing. I think Kat can do much better. Hayley and Bill were on today. Bill came home with flowers. After yesterday's episode, I was hoping that Bill was gaining momentum with, slowly building up more brain cells, but we're really not quite there yet. Hayley played victim again to Bill today, whining about how Bill was interrogating her yesterday, and he made up excuses for his baby comment towards Danny, saying it was a slip of the tongue. He gave her a card with the flowers, and Hayley did crack me up when she said that there better not be baby anywhere in this card. That did crack me up. But when Hayley went to go take off some clothes to, maybe seduce him later, Bill got a call that a account was closed and that Hayley closed a savings account. And he did confront Hayley about it. And Bill asked Hayley what she planned to do with that money. And she tried to weasel her way out of it, saying that she closed the savings account because if they're not going to have a baby, why are they saving money in that account? It's just going to be put in the main account. He talked about how he talked to his accountant about how they had been involved with an embezzler like Lynette. And he was questioning Hayley if she gave Lynette all that money, which Hayley denied it. But I'm assuming that's why Hayley did take out the money in the first place. She was going to pay Lynette off to leave town. But yeah, I don't know exactly what Hayley was doing with the money, why she closed that account in the first place, where the money actually is. But I don't feel as though Bill asked enough questions to really get answers from Hayley like he should have. I don't feel like Bill was very lawyer-esque in these scenes. By the end of it, she was able to talk her way out of it like usual. And Bill just ended up being soft on her like usual. So I was kind of disappointed that by the end of this episode, we didn't even get like a look of like Bill being concerned or still not believing Hayley at the end of the episode. It was just Bill being soft towards Hayley yet again. The writing really needs to change, and Bill really needs to start gaining brain cells back. The only other thing that happened today was something I didn't talk about yesterday because I forgot, because yesterday's episode was just so boring in general. Yesterday, Martin and Vernon were talking about Martin's past with the whole Kenny situation. Today, it was Martin and Nicole talking about it. Although I do have in my notes that the start of the episode was actually Martin and Tomas talking, and Tomas was being very nosy about Ted and Nicole, asking if there was something between them at Kat's party. And Martin should have told Tomas to mind his business, but he didn't. But anyway, Martin talked to Nicole about possibly running for Senate, and she was not on board with that because his past secret could come out. She talked to Martin about Joey making that kind of threat the other day on the double date. And so she's concerned that Martin's past could come out. She's also concerned that Martin hasn't told Smitty that he might run for Senate yet because Martin promised Smitty to be more truthful in their relationship, and Martin's not doing that. I'm assuming that they continue to bring up Martin's secret again because it really could come out soon. Probably not too soon on this show because we all know it moves so slowly, but they have to be bringing it back up for a reason, I would assume. I just don't know how it helps anyone else. It only just hurts Martin if that secret comes out because it could hurt his political career. Maybe it will have something to do with the Young and the Restless crossover. I know that crossover has a lot to do with Martin's campaign. I want to be more interested to see where the Martin stuff is going, but we're going to have to wait and see. I hope they build it up well, but more importantly, I hope they build it up more exciting than a lot of the current stories. But to sum up today, we finally got some action. Ren stabbed Grayson. It happened on camera, which is good. It's a good step in the right direction from the way this show likes to put a lot of stuff off camera. And yeah, it's too bad Bill still sucked today with the way he continues to just let Hayley get away with everything and doesn't ask the right questions. And it was good to see Shanice back, even if I think they're building up Ted hurting her in the future.